This video about my article, There Could Be No Unity with Enemies of Liberty, published by BizPac Review on Tuesday, July 16th. At that time, Joe Biden was a candidate for president. On Sunday, July 21st, Joe Biden announced his withdrawal as candidate for president. So in the article, naturally, I talk about Biden as a candidate. Now, the fact that Biden is no longer a candidate doesn't change the validity regarding the principles of unity. So all of that still is important. And as a side note, on my opinion, any candidate that the Democrat National Convention nominates will simply be an extension of the Biden regime. Biden was a puppet of it, and that will continue no matter who they put up. So this article, its core message that there could be no unity with enemies of liberty is still quite valid. There could be no unity with the enemies of liberty. Trump's good faith truth requires removal of bad faith actors. Among the important challenges the assassination attempt against Donald Trump has raised are unity and compromised federal institutions. Trump said, "I want to try to unite our country, but I don't know if that's possible. People are very divided." The Alinsky polarization strategy Barack Obama has promoted for 16 years, embraced wholly by Joe Biden, is why our nation is so divided. No Band-Aid, wish, or words can change this. Trump said success will be the ultimate unifier, but that is optimistic. For this, the Trump administration would need to understand the purposeful polarization behind our division and identify the core principles necessary to bring us together in a practical way. Changing course will not be easy. The first step must be removing from power those who have purposely divided us. Creating division is a method of conquest. In his signature 1971 work, Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky wrote, "All issues must be polarized. One acts decisively only in the conviction that all the angels are on one side and all the devils on the other." Understanding the human tendency to blame the other, radicals demonize opponents as racist, homophobic, xenophobic, fascist, terrorist, etc. Alinsky's binary choice of good versus evil divides society into victims and oppressors, promoting fear of and hatred toward supposed oppressors. People taken in by this strategy, those with Trump derangement syndrome, reflexively reject anything a supposed evil one says, rendering evidence and reason irrelevant. The infected support arbitrary punishment, even re-education of the enemy. This is tyranny and where we are currently headed. Unity requires a thorough framework of understanding. Properly understood, unity is not agreeing on positions, which is impossible. Unity is agreeing on the rules, the Constitution, and legal processes based on an aspiration of equal application to all people. Under these conditions, we can engage in robust debate and examination of issues which are healthy and necessary for human progress. Judge Eileen Cannon's July 15 ruling on the Trump documents case provides an important example regarding unity. She ruled that prosecutor Jack Smith's appointment was unconstitutional. Trump haters will decry this because they want their preferred result regardless of the rules. The proper attitude for Trump detractors, proponents, and all others is to respect the rule of law and let the legal process conclude. Democrats tried to pass a voting law in 2021 that would have prohibited voter ID and let the regime steal elections. To assure the unconstitutional legislation would not be judicially annulled, Democrats proposed packing the Supreme Court. They would have put political hacks on it, effectively centralizing power in the executive branch. On July 15th, Biden called for unity, saying, "We may disagree, but we are not enemies." That contradicts Biden's rhetoric and actions since he took power. The obviously coordinated legal actions against Trump and the two biased New York trials against Trump are examples. They show there is nothing the Biden regime and Democrats won't do to defeat Trump. The riots Democrats and their partner media called peaceful protests began in May 2020. They ended abruptly in August when polls showed them hurting Democrats. Black Lives Matter, run by self-declared Marxists, and Antifa had been acting as the violent arm of the Democrat Party. Biden bragged about forgiving student debt for the second time after the Supreme Court had ruled it unconstitutional. Biden and his partner media said after the Supreme Court presidential immunity decision that Trump will turn us into a dictatorship if given another term. As usual, Democrats and their allies project themselves onto their enemies. Biden's campaign has been based on demonizing Trump. Biden's lies, echoed by state media, about his record will not carry him to victory. The only chance Biden has to win, besides fraud, is to say Trump will be a dictator and seek revenge for how Biden and Democrats have treated and portrayed him. Biden already previewed that his unity call would be short-lived. When giving historical examples of violence, Biden mentioned the violent mob attack on January 6th. Nancy Pelosi's sham January 6th committee violated Congress's rules and manipulated evidence to arrive at its predetermined conclusion of Trump's guilt. We do not yet know the role of the FBI, Pelosi, and/or violent groups connected to the Democrat Party. Under no definition was January 6th an insurrection. That is part of the demonization strategy. Even Biden's Justice Department didn't charge Trump or anyone else with insurrection. We cannot build trust in our institutions without restoring equal justice free from politics. This requires tolerance of differences, largely destroyed by the demonization strategy, which coincides with rule by elites. Trump's and Republican congressional campaigns should focus on creating support for reforming the federal bureaucracy and our institutions so that they work for the American people. This video is on impunityobserver.com. Please visit our site and subscribe to our newsletter.